This weekend, the Porsche GT3 Cup USA by Yokohama series has a fantastic backdrop, a truly iconic road racing circuit. This extremely fast track is set between pristine pastures and an idyllic lake community. But today, this relaxing summer vacation destination becomes a battleground for motorsport. As skilled Porsche drivers attempt to master the high-speed corners, super-fast straights and steep elevations in an attempt to be one step closer to the championship. Current points leader Jesse Lazare has dominated the season so far and shows no sign of slowing down. We're racing Porsches in Parkland next at Road America. Motorsport and indeed road racing runs deep through the psyche around these parts. They used to race down Main Street of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. In the mid-1950s, Road America was carved out of the lush landscape here in Wisconsin. And as spectators, we've enjoyed the excitement. As drivers and teams, well, they've had the challenge that is Road America ever since. One of a handful of circuits around the world that remains intact from when it was first laid down, and the 14 corners are still just as intimidating as they ever were. It's rounds 9 and 10 of the 2016 Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama this weekend. Could not have asked for any better weather to go with the perfect surroundings. I'm John Hindhaugh, Jeremy Shaw is alongside me. Before we get to the action though, let's talk about the machinery. Two different types of Porsche 911 out on the circuit. This is how you tell them apart. The Type 991s are the newer cars out there. They run in the Platinum category with the black side mirrors, black number panel and black edges to the windshield banners. It's gold on all of those areas for the gold class. That's the Type 997s. Simple as that. Well, the competitors on their formation lap warming up their Yokohama tyres gives us a chance to look back at round 9 yesterday. Decent start from the front row. The blue car on the right-hand side of the grid, our left, Andrew Long, the pole sitter. Phil Bloom getting helped into a spin at turn 5 by one of his gold class competitors, Michael de Quesada. Jesse Lazare doing what Jesse does and driving away from the field, breaking their hearts, minds and wills, whilst local man Wild Bill Pelichowski from Chicago couldn't make the best of local knowledge. So at the end of the race, another win for Jesse Lazare. Jake Edson in his first race for Porsches was second, Andrew Long the pole sitter third. Sebastian Landi continues his good run of form in the gold category by taking the win from Michael Levitas and a recovering Phil Bloom. So let's take a look at the championship standings after yesterday's race. Andrew Long has closed within a point of Lucas Catania in second place, but they're still trying to chase down the Canadian driver Jesse Lazare, who heads the Platinum class. In gold, Michael de Quesada is looking over his shoulder as Michael Levitas has closed within 2 points. Sebastian Landi now within 12. Well, the Silver Cayman has its safety car lights out. That means stand by, because we're ready to go racing with the Porsches here at Road America. Well, this is the kink at Road America. One of the fastest and most intimidating corners in all of motor racing, never mind here in North America. They'll be flat out next time around when they come through here. Jesse Lazare it is who leads them out from Andrew Long in the Wright Motorsports blue 47. He's swapped sides on the grid since yesterday. Jake Edson continues his great opening weekend in Porsches in third position. Jeremy Shaw and John Hindhaugh watching for the start of round 10. Perfect weather conditions, slightly overcast but cool. The flat six engines crackling through a very lovely late summer morning here at Road America as round 10 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA is about to go green. Cayman safety car, or pace car as it is now, pulls away. If we see it again, and let's hope we don't, it will become the safety car. Nice lineup on the front row. Jesse Lazaire and Andrew Long. Andrew Long really didn't get the best of his front row start in round 9. He'll be looking to do better as they come through the final corner and begin to pick up pace. It's a nice gentle run up the hill here, and the field is very packed together. Right in the middle of the field, Victor Gomez, the fourth, pulling out a line there to have a little look to see what's going on ahead of him. The green flag is in the air. We're racing in round 10 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. Down towards turn 1, and it's a fabulous start by Jesse Lazaire. Andrew Long in the blue, Porsche number 47 coming down the inside. Behind them, Jake Edson, first weekend of Porsche racing, already has a second place under his belt. Slots into third place, but Lucas Catania with the orange front of the 26 car coming down the hill. Little lock of the right front wheel there. Right in behind there, Will Hardeman's made a decent run and has got ahead of McKay Snow, but a decent start and a clean start. Jeremy Shaw.
Yeah, very much so. All around the first couple of corners there, and it is clean and green so far. Great start there by Jesse Lazaire once again, this time from the pole position. Speaking to the Right Motorsports guys a little bit earlier this morning, as defending to the inside there in third place is Jake Edson, and the Right Motorsports guys were all struggling just a little bit yesterday in the early laps. They felt their setup was a little bit too conservative. It wasn't as hot as they'd expected, so they didn't want to make sure they didn't burn up their tyres early in the race, and that really enabled the Kelly Moss guys, who went a bit more aggressive, to pull away in the early stages. This time around, they're hoping to be right on the pace from the get-go. That's the Right Motorsports guys.
Down the inside into turn number 8 at the bottom of the hurry downs, the number 91 of Anthony Imperato, the orange and white car with the yellow and maroon car right in there. In fact, he's gone through. That was Jeff Mosing. That's the battle at the bottom end of the top 10. Jeff Mosing and Fred Purdard battling for the Platinum Masters category. Remember, the drivers are not graded here in terms of their skills, but they are on their life experience, age. The older drivers get to run in the Masters category. It's the cars that are Platinum and Gold. 991, the newer cars for the Platinum category, 997 for the Gold category, and that's a great battle going on from 7th on downwards, with Ricardo Perez just in behind McKay Snow there, and Jeff Mosing right in there too as well. Really now getting to grips with the new car for this season for him, having been a staple of the Gold category, moved up to Platinum this year, and right in behind Snow as they climb the hill. Lazaire across the line has 3/4 of a second on Andrew Long. He will not want to let those guys get away. Will Hardeman's had a great first couple of laps. He's got ahead of Catania. Mike Headland, by the way, scored in 6th position across the line there. It's a great run for Mike. He'll be loving this, and now tries to get across the gap between himself in 5th position, 6th position to the 5th place of Lucas Catania. A little bit cooler today, a little bit overcast. The Yokohama tyres not having to work so hard with the pavement around about 8 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than it was during the race yesterday. Number 19 coming down to the left-hander at turn 5 is Will Hardeman, getting back into the series just ahead of his home race at the Circuit of the Americas in a couple of races time. Hails from the Austin area.
Yeah, it was a great start by him. Also a good start by Ricardo Perez de Lara in car number 02. He also made up a couple of positions on that first lap in the Hertz colour, the gold and black car for JDX Racing.
41 minutes to go. Time certain, remember. 3/4 of an hour, 45 minutes when the cars came to the green flag. A lap and a half ago. And Jesse Lazaire, our championship leader, who put on a real driving clinic yesterday, is already 3/4 of a second up on the field. Kelly Moss Racing Team is one of the super teams here, Jeremy, with multiple entries, like the Right Motorsports guys, and getting the cars set up is so important here.
The Right Motorsports guys, it's Andrew Long is one, and Fred Porter in the Masters class another. A little bit more aggressive today on their start to try and get that early pace and stay with the leaders.
Where Jesse Lazare destroyed the opposition in round 9, the previous round here at Road America, was that portion of the mid part of the race from about half to three-quarter distance where he metronomically lapped in the low 2-minute 14s.
Yeah.
And nobody got anywhere near him at that point.
He didn't, but he made the break in the early stages.
True.
So that was the biggest difference. But the pace, but yeah, he had him covered.
He did.
Yesterday. You're absolutely right.
Finished up with a 9-second lead that he controlled towards the end of the race, and he was able to back off. Now, he's not been allowed to get away today by Andrew Long and Jake Edson. Jake in his first. Oh, now was there a little touch there into turn 5? Looked like a Porsche going around. Yes, there was, and that's Hardiman. I thought there was, as Hardiman and Catania were very close together, and Hardiman turned around. Just looked like he got a clip from the NGT Motorsport Porsche. Well, it's always an action area down at turn 5. Coming in together, Catania on the inside. Just as they go out to the right, the shot. Yes, there was the touch. Catania down the inside was there or thereabouts, but not able to avoid contact with Hardiman. And we have seen penalties handed out for being involved in incidents and initiating accidents. Hardiman rejoins, but he's going to be way down. Not even sure he's held on to a top 10 position. Indeed, he has not. Jesse Lazare now puts in a really fast middle sector. He's not looking back at Andrew Long at the moment. Long putting in his own fastest sectors. He had the fastest lap last time around, Long, in second place, but he's in danger now of losing touch. Once you get over a second and a half, you're not really getting any aerodynamic advantage from the car in front, and then it's really going to be difficult for Long and Edson and Catania. Mike Headland up to 5th position now. That's a great run by the 77 car. Another one of the Kelly Moss Road and Race super team cars. Side by side across the line. Ricardo, Perez and Snow together. And Snow holding on to that one. In fact, going through into 6th position as he goes down through turn 1 after the demise of Hardiman then. And Lazare now responds with a 2:13 even at the front of the field. Battles all the way through the field. It's what we've come to expect from Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. Super impressed with Mike Headland, the Californian resident from Redwood City. Been spreading his wings a little bit and taking in some European events. Big slide by Snow coming out of 5. That's not going to do the rear Yokohama's any good at all. This is a long race, still 37 minutes to go. And at the head of the field, Lazare is just beginning to do what he did in round number 9. And all of a sudden, he leads by 1.5 seconds from Andrew Long. Well, Jeremy, I'm impressed again by Jesse Lazare. How can you not be? The rest of the pack squabbling literally over the scraps from the high table, and that high table at the moment is owned by Jesse Lazare, who's putting another fastest lap in. I feel for Andrew Long, he's improving every lap, but he's got nothing at the moment for the 21 car.
No, he hasn't. He has stayed closer in the early stages. He got onto his pace right away, but you're right, he doesn't quite have the pace here of Jesse Lazare. And you know, this is Jesse's 3rd season in these cars. Andrew's 2nd, and experience does count for everything, doesn't it? And particularly on a track like this, it's a daunting racetrack. It's a very fast track, a variety of corners here, and you know, it's not for the faint of heart. So experience even more important.
Sebastian Landi has led every single lap of the gold category today. He's just on the outskirts of the top 10. He'll be very happy with that, with just under 36 minutes still to race here at Road America. It's round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. Road America Elkhart Lake providing the circuit and the backdrop for what has already been a very good weekend for Jesse Lazare, who still leads. Ricardo Perez there in the Hertz car going through, and somebody has gone off ahead of him at turn 7, just dropping a couple of Yokohamas off the road. Not the first or the last time, I suggest, this weekend.
No. In fact, that is where we didn't see it yesterday. That's where Michael De Quesada, he made a pass on the first lap. Oops, there's two of the JDX teammates got together. That's
Oscar Arroyo and the 89 on the right-hand side, and the 12 car is Eduardo de Leon. Now, both of those cars are fired. It's time to do the three-point turns, chap. Actually, I sit on. Oscar's going, yeah. Oscar Arroyo turns towards the camera. Eduardo de Leon on driver's left. They need to be exiting camera right here. Come on, Eduardo, get it going. We don't want a yellow flag. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Crackle of the gear changes on these cars. Now, what happened there is they're going up the hill. This is through turn 6. So already, right.
Round she goes.
So that was the 12 car that went around. Eduardo coming to the top of the hill at 6. I wonder if that's why we saw the dust in the background as people were taking to the grass to avoid those guys. A little bit of synchronized spinning from the teammates.
Yeah, indeed. He just made the pass, actually, at car number 12 and before the spin. So he did the hard bit and then spun it all the way. So that was rather a shame for him. But what I was talking about there was Michael De Quesada. We saw him yesterday on the first lap make a great pass for the lead in Gold Cup down at turn 5. And then 2 corners later, going down that Horidine section, so he spun the car. That's why he went to the back of the field.
Jesse Lazare has pulled the pin, and all of a sudden the gap's 4 seconds. He has that innate ability to put in quick laps. He's put in a couple of 2:12s, 2:12.8 last time around, and that has broken the resolve of Andrew Long in second place. Now 4.1 seconds behind. Andrew's still putting in personal bests, but even in that first sector, he's lost 2/10 to Jesse Lazare, who is just set the afterburners to military. He is gone.
Yeah, and he did that with the previous couple of laps. Lap 4 was a 1 minute 12.600, and that is very close to the track record that was set a couple of years ago by Michael Lewis at 2:12.478. So 2:12.60 followed by a 2:12.65 and then a 2:12.8. So 3 really quick laps for Jesse Lazare.
And he's done it again, Jeremy, because at 4 seconds now he doesn't have to do those laps. He can be watching his pit board, listening to what his team's telling him. They're looking at the split times as well, and he has now broken the field. It's as simple as that. If this was a cycle race, if this was the Tour de France, the peloton now have got to try and work together to catch up the breakaway. He's just disappeared.
Except he's not listening to you, because he's got purple again in sector 1, so he's going quicker and quicker. But you know, it wasn't. You're right, though. You know, he's done a difficult bit now. Now he's just settled into a nice, consistent pace. That's exactly what he did yesterday. Don't go up and down in the lap times. Just keep it consistent. Hit your marks, your braking points. Get on the throttle at the same sort of time. Just look after the car. Don't slide it too much. Don't use the curbs too much.
This is the opening weekend of the Olympics. If this was a 5,000-meter race on the track, that's akin to somebody just putting in some really quick laps in the middle of the race, breaking the resolve of the rest of the field. He did exactly the same in round 9, and he's doing it again here to just make that gap. And he seems to have performance in hand, Jeremy. What impresses me is he knows how to use it, and he knows when he's made that break that he can then control it at a distance. And that, you know, oftentimes you'll see the pace in young drivers. What you don't see is their ability to go, okay, let's wind it down a notch and start hitting your marks at, instead of the 2:12.5, let's do a 2:13.5. Well, he's done a 13 flat that time around, which is still 7/10 of a second quicker than anyone managed on that last lap. He can take it down a little bit. Inside half an hour to go here at Road America for round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup North America by Yokohama. Plenty more battling to come. Jesse Lazare continues to dominate round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. Bowles further down the field. Mackay Snow, part of the Snow Racing dynasty and carving his way into motorsport, Jeremy.
Mackay, he's still young, and I was down there talking to the other Right Motorsports guys actually in the transport a little while ago, and Mackay was just sitting there with his headphones in, not really interested in what was going around him. He's focusing on his own preparations for the race. It's funny, his teammates were sort of, were sort of kind of taking a mickey a little bit, kids. But you know, he's got his own little focus as Mackay, and he's, as you say, yesterday he's showing really good pace in the middle of the race. Just needs to turn it on perhaps a little bit sooner.
Jeff Mosing, all of a sudden, right up behind the 63 after that little bit of a mistake. Just goes to show, doesn't it? And he's dropped back, in fact, behind now Ricardo Perez. So Perez has gone through after that mistake at 5. Headland now in breathing space with 4 seconds behind him. So that inconsistency that we said would burn drivers is what's happening with Snow there. And you've got to think after that huge lock-up down to turn 5 last time around that he's struggling with a bit of vibration on that left front Yokohama. They build very good tyres, but that was abuse on that left front there that cannot have done it any good, and wide at 3 allows the rhubarb and custard coloured Mosing Motorcars Porsche number 01 to go round the outside. Now this is going to be a tough one, but watch that left front again under braking, because it will find the flat spot if you brake too hard. He's gone deep. It'll be the over and under from Mosing. Quality stuff from Jeff Mosing, our leader in the Masters category. Gets to the inside at turn 6 and makes the pass on the youngster.
Excellent job, because he knows right in his mirrors there, being sandwiched now by Mackay Snow, is his main contender in the Masters category. That is Fred Poordad, who is also now looking to make a move on the youngster. So, and as he does that, Anthony Imperator says thank you very much. He dives down the inside at turn 8. So a great battle here in the big pack. And Mackay Snow, he's got rattled quite clearly. He's making mistakes now. That's not what you would expect.
No, not at all.
But meanwhile, by the way, up at the front of the field, Jesse Lazare has gone. Must have been something going on at that last lap though for Andrew Long. He lost a lot of ground. Jake Edson got closer, but Lucas Catania is now right with that battle. So we've got a great battle going on now for second place. We haven't seen it on the screen lately, but that's as they came past us, those 3 cars were really close together.
Yeah, and Lazare does what Lazare does.
And here it is. Here is that battle.
Yeah. Oh, there is that a puncture on the left front of the Snow car. It's down at Canada corner. Certainly there's some damage to the rubber splitter, and young Snow's gone straight on. Look at the left front of the car, the second in the picture, third in the picture rather. Yeah, tyre's gone. And that splits off that rubber splitter on the front of the Right Motorsports car, and that was absolutely, Jeremy, cause and effect. We saw the big lock up into turn 5 a couple of laps ago. That will have flat spotted the tyre, and gradually that tyre has been getting closer and closer to the cords. The rubber has been running out, and no ABS on these cars, so you do have to moderate your braking yourself. There's no full course yellow yet. The benefit of a 4-mile lap is that if Snow can get that out, and he can get that back to the pits.
Benefit also of hard-packed gravel there as well. So
did its job and slowed him down, absolutely. But he was able to drive out of it. Other circuits take note, by the way. That left front. Yeah, I was going to say he's going very quick for a left front flat, but that is definitely a flat left front. It is. It's holding onto the rim very well, but it's down, and the piece of rubber on the left front of that car is from underneath the splitter. Very important part of Porsche Cup cars. Well done to Snow for getting that car into the pit lane. We have not had to go to full course yellow. 21 minutes to go. Jesse Lazare leading by an increased margin, almost 8.5 seconds. Andrew Long coming under pressure as we head to the last 20 minutes. Jake Edson in third place is within striking distance, 3/4 of a second back in the number 95 car. It's round 10 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. It's round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama, and we've had a change of second position. Jesse Lazare is away down the road from this battle, but there is the visual confirmation that Jake Edson in the 95, the white, purple and dark red car, is ahead of the blue 47 of Andrew Long. Andrew had just been drifting back to these guys. He's rather come awake now since he's been passed, and that is Lucas Catania, who is the third car there. So that is second, third and fourth overall through Canada Corner, with just on 18.5 minutes to run here. I have a strong suspicion that the top step of the podium is out of reach for all of these drivers, but they'll be wanting to maximise their points in the case of Andrew Long and their visibility in the case of Jake Edson. Remember, this is his first weekend of GT racing, and he's already said that this is an area of the sport that he'd like to continue with. Across the line, top speed down towards the right-hander, the first corner here, which is one of a number of awesome turns here at Road America.
Yeah, certainly are. It is a wonderful racetrack. You're right there about Jake Edson. He's got to lose some of his early habits, perhaps. And we see, where's Anthony Imperato? Has got, oh, yikes.
Oh, big blow up on the front straight. The number 91 car of Michael De Quesada. What a horrible weekend it's been for one of the major contenders in the gold category. A big pall of white engine smoke, the unburnt fuel from the central exhausts of the number 91 is making it look slightly more spectacular than it is, but that car is dead stick and still rolling uphill. Waved yellow at the moment, but I don't think there's any drive from that number 91 Wright Motorsports car.
No.
But interestingly, Jeremy, what I'm not seeing is a trail behind that car. It's all burnt off, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's a good point. But boy, that was huge. I haven't seen one of those.
Very unusual.
In a long time, and
very unusual.
He's not quite got to the. He did his best job. It's still uphill a little bit there. So
full course yellow, yeah, Jeremy.
They don't have any choice, unfortunately. He did a good job, Anthony, to try and get it out of the way. But where he was on the racetrack, there was absolutely nothing else he could do.
And what he didn't want to do was cross the track.
Indeed. Because
he can't see anything behind him. And I think that was a really good job by Anthony Imperato. Sorry, I said it was De Quesada earlier. It was Imperato. De Quesada benefits from that in the 31. He's headed up through the field, up into second place in the gold category, but Anthony will not be happy with that at all. Such a big conflagration. The safety teams are there. And the fire from the exhaust has gone out. Full course yellow. 16 minutes to go. Round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA. And this is our first full course yellow. Jesse Lazare's 8.5 second lead is about to be negated. Anthony Imperato then comes out of the car and rather resigned as he steps across to speak to the IMSA officials. The Wright Motorsports team there.
Yep.
What happened? It done blow up.
It did. That was a big one. I can't remember seeing one. When
was the last time you saw a Porsche engine in anything?
Well, we've seen a few of those in perhaps in the IMSA WeatherTech Championship over the last couple of years, but although not recently, I have to say. No, in this series, I can't remember the last one. And shame for Anthony, he was doing a good job there. He'd lost a position on the a couple of laps ago. No, he gained one actually, hadn't he? Because he managed to get past Fred Pourad and was maybe holding up Fred a little bit, but unfortunately that's come to a grinding halt, so he'll be out of this race.
Coming up the hill, it had clearly given up. But I'm looking across from us, and there is nothing on the track. I mean, Anthony did exactly the right thing, but I'm not seeing anything.
Lets the fluids go pretty quickly there.
Clearly, yes. Well, we were talking about Lazard highlighting the afterburners earlier on. Anthony doing it in a rather more spectacular way. Let's hope this is the run to the flag for the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama here at Road America. Line astern. The safety car pulls to the pit lane, and Jesse Lazare gets on the accelerator really early. Jake Edson just a tad caught out there by the pace of the Kelly Moss teammate car ahead of him. Jesse Lazare gets away and puts half a second on the field down the inside to turn number 1. Jeff Mosing has got to have a little bit of a look as Mosing and Poordard are battling for the Masters category. That's the yellow and maroon car and the red, white, right motorsports car right at his tail. At the moment in gold, Sebastian Landy is inside the top 10 at 9 in the 49 car. He's on the back of that as well. Will Hardiman has fought his way back up to 12th in platinum after his turnaround early on, but Lazare unable to pull away. Edson's got a good restart. Again, Poordard having a look down the inside. Turn 5, up the hill now. 10.5 minutes to go. John Hindhaugh and Jeremy Shaw, trackside at Road America. And the 10th round of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama, once again bringing us start to finish, lights to flag excitement. Lazare got a good jump to start with, Jeremy, but Jake Edson's keeping him honest at the moment. Got it back under half a second as they're coming down towards Canada Corner. The battle's in the midfield, and where the action is at the moment. Andrew Long, 3rd, Catania 4th, 21, 95, 47 and 26. Mike Headland in 5th position. He's going to keep hold of that. He'll be delighted with that. That might well be his best finish.
Yeah, he's had a couple of 5th place finishes at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, also one at Watkins Glen too, so that's kind of been where he has been lately. And today, yes, a good run for Mike. Here's Jake Edson once again defending that inside line there going into Canada Corner from Andrew Long, and he really needs it. He's got a faster car, perhaps not though on the early lap. Once the tyres have cooled down, the Wright Motorsports guys are a little bit more aggressive on their tyre pressures, and in the early stages perhaps not quite as quick, but Jake Edson there needs to focus forward and not on his mirrors.
Yeah, he made a mistake in sector 2 because he lost over a second to Lazare in sector 2, and that's allowed Andrew Long to close back in across the line at the completion of his lap number 15 with a 1.7 second lead. Lazare, then the battle for second position, and Catania goes round the outside of Long for 3rd. Andrew Long tried to go down the inside there in the blue 47 and couldn't make that one stick on the Kelly Moss racing car with the purple and black on the rear end of Jake Edson's car. And Catania takes the opportunity. Great opportunist manoeuvre. Did not need a second invitation there. Behind that battling trio for second, Mike Headland in 5th is about to come under some pressure from Ricardo Perez de Lara, who actually he's having a bit of a fight himself at the moment, as Jeff Mosing, our Masters class leader, goes down the outside of 5. Want to be careful there, Jeff. Jeff enjoying playing with the youngsters up front. He is getting in amongst it. He's also got Fred Poordard just behind him, about a second further back. The next car, grey, white and red, they are 1st and 2nd in Masters. Then Sebastian Landy is our gold class leader. So platinum Masters and gold category all inside the top 9 at the moment in terms of the leaders.
Yeah, very cool, isn't it? A really good race unfolding here now, particularly after that yellow flag interruption, and all sorts of battling in the mid-pack. That battle between Fred Poordard and Jeff Mosing, just 1 point separating those two in the Masters cars coming into this weekend. That win yesterday for Jeff Mosing just gives them a little bit of a breathing space.
It's the run to the flag, 7.5 minutes to go of round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA. And Jesse Lazare once again has managed to clear the chasing pack. Porsche's in the Parkland setting of Road America with 5 minutes to go. Sebastian Landi mounting a real challenge for the Gold Cup Championship. Landi, 49, 9th position. He's got a handy lead now because it's Michael de Quesada who may have panicked his fans earlier on, and I thought it was his engine that had gone. He actually was streaming past as that cloud of white smoke in front of us, but de Quesada in second, but he's well back at the moment on Sebastian Landi. So Landi at the moment in the heady reaches of inside the top 10 for the Gold Cup leader. Has to keep his wits about him. Will Hardeman fighting back after being tipped into a spin early on at turn 5. And Sebastian has to play sensibly here and think about the points for the gold category. But in fairness, he's done that all year, and he's done it very, very well. At the head of the field, Lazaire disappears out of our shot, camera left, as Jake Edson has for a moment just pulled out the sharp end of a second on Catania third. Same sort of gap back to Andrew Long in the blue 47 at turn 5 in fourth. Mike Headland will be having a ball here, getting onto the back of these guys ahead of him in the 77, the mostly white Wright Motorsports car, and he's got about a second and a half on Ricardo Perez de Lara, who's now coming under pressure from Jeff Mosley, and Jeff can't hang about here because Fred Podad is closing him down. So 0, 2, 0, 1 and 20 in 6th, 7th and 8th. Well, the second of those two are battling for the Masters lead in the race.
Yeah, and the fastest laps that each of those guys has set to join us race is within a 1/10 of a second of each other, so really, really closely matched.
Leader goes through, Jesse Lazaire. These cars immensely spectacular and quick. Great spectator point to drivers right through this concrete canyon from the exit of the carousel all the way down to Canada Corner.
Yeah, I was down there this morning, and it's a really cool place to watch. It's always been a fabulous spectator circuit at Road America, but now, wow.
I watched the last practice session for these cars from that very spot, and the noise of the flat six reverberating from the concrete and through the trees, the harsh crackle of the exhausts on overrun, on the upshift, on the downshift rather, and the crack on the upshift as the flat shifting. Oh, and Oscar Arroyo has gone around again. Oscar Arroyo in 17th position, 14th in class, and that is on the exit of Canada Corner. He should be able to get that car all the way around. He has done, in front of a few knowledgeable spectators. To drivers left there, there's a huge set of bleachers underneath the shade of the trees and a large screen there, so great place to go and watch, spend the day there, see the rest of the track as well. Under 2 minutes to go then in round 10 of the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama, and Jesse Lazaire has really had no pressure. The only pressure was that of a restart with about a third of the race to go, but thus far, Jeremy, and he will see the white flag as he comes past us next time around, thus far he has once again not put a Yokohama tyre wrong.
No, it's been another exemplary drive, you're right, by the young man from Montreal. Even though it is his third full season in the category, still only 19 years of age, so you know the potential here of Jesse Lazaire. Yeah, that's right. And you know, finally this year we've seen that consistency that was lacking over the last couple of years, and I'm sure having Jake Edson here is going to help him too, because Jake is a very, very talented youngster, doesn't have experience in these cars, but if he stays with that team, he's going to push Jesse.
One-off outing for Jake for the moment this weekend, and has paid tribute to Jesse, by the way, when he was in with us this morning about the sharing of data. I said it's fine when he's 8 seconds up the road. Trust me, Jake, if you're on his back bumper, he'll be putting his hand over it as if he was doing his homework. White flag.
Still does.
Yes, they probably are. White flag is in the air as Jesse Lazaire comes through with 17, 16, 15 seconds to go before the end of the 45 minutes. Well, he now can look behind and see that he's got 4 seconds of a gap between himself and Edson, for the moment looking for his second position in his first Porsche Cup outing. Yeah, at Road America, Sebastian Landi with Will Hardiman closing in on him for position in the overall classification, but leads the GT3 Gold Cup. And Landi's had another solid run in that 49 car. The TPC Racing machine. Landi inside the top 10. Now he may give that position up if Hardiman challenges for it. Good drive back from Will as well, actually. He was in the top 6, wasn't he, when he was spun around at turn 5, this part of the circuit, early on. But there is only one name that will be in the headlines of the press release from the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA round 10 on this IMSA weekend, and that will be Jesse Lazaire out of the carousel for the final time. Second, third and fourth still being disputed. They're not nose to tail, but no mistakes from any of those three because they are close enough for their competitors to benefit. But Jesse Lazaire is cruising to a second victory and extending his championship lead. Brilliant stuff, Jeremy.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect weekend for him. It really would be if he could just maintain this for another couple of corners. This will be his 10th and 11th wins of his career in the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge. And as you say, extend that championship lead going into the final half dozen races of the season.
And a bit of drama for the last podium position as Catania goes a little wide coming out of Canada corner, and there's a slight opportunity for Andrew Long, but up the road by 4 seconds. The checkered flag will be seen first by Jesse Lazaire, and another pretty much picture perfect weekend is rounded off with another victory. Jake Edson will come through in second place to make it a pair of seconds. Twice on the podium in your first GT race. That is going to attract a bit of attention. Catania holds on to third ahead of Andrew Long, who after 2 front row starts this weekend, I don't think will be overly happy with his haul of points. Fourth position there for the 47 driver. Mike Headland equals his best finish in the championship with the 77 car in 5th. Coming home to win the gold category is Sebastian Landi, and Jeff Mosing held off Fred Podard to take the Platinum Masters. But undoubtedly this weekend and this season is beginning to look like a Jesse Lazaire benefit. He'll extend his championship lead, and we'll hear from our round 10 winner here at Road America in just a few moments time. Back into Victory Circle, the new Victory Circle here at Road America. Sebastian Landi takes the gold category, but it's Jesse Lazaire who wins overall. Let's hear from our round 10 winner.
Honestly, 2 days in a row, our engineer hit the car right on, so it was driving like on air out there. And me and my teammate and I, we came through together and we finished 1 and 2 both days, and I couldn't ask for anything more. Obviously, him being here helped my points lead increase a little bit, and that's obviously to my advantage, and I'm thankful for that. But I just want to focus on winning each race and getting the car right for each race, and I'm really excited to go to VIR and try to win there.
Dominating performance from Jesse and from Kelly Moss Road and Races team, with Jake Edson picking up a second place in what is, remember, his first outing in the Porsches. Phil Bloom and Michael Di Casada have to settle for third and second in the Gold Cup category. It's been a brilliant weekend too for Sebastian Landi.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for us. Finally, we're starting to get a little bit of luck, and I think we've been showing a lot of speed this year, and we don't really have too much to show for it right now. We're third in points, but we're coming strong, and I think we'll make it a close finish. Yeah, so it was a great race. I got off to a good start, and everything stayed clean. I was trying to put as big a gap behind me to the Platinum cars and to Michael, because I knew that if he got any chance to take any opportunity, he would try and get in front of me. But it was a good, clean race, and it was just a matter of putting my head down, keeping the number 49 Ford Tow Strong Coffee car in front, and bringing home the win.
No real surprises as we look at the table and see that in Platinum class, Jesse Lazare extends his lead over Lucas Catania and Andrew Long, with Chris Green, Ricardo Perez and the rest just bid part players in the 2016 championship. In gold class, it's a different story, with Michael de Quesada now being pulled back. Sebastian Landi just 3 points away from the lead. Michael Levitas another 6 further back. Another fabulous race weekend at Road America. We've come to expect that. We move to another green and pleasant land next. VIR, Virginia International Raceway. That's the next challenge for the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. And rest assured, the whole team, plus Jeremy Shaw and me, John Hindhaugh, will be there to bring you all of the action.